Live stream. Okay, Jay. Jay, start. I can start, Jay.
Okay.
You wanna start? Okay.
Yeah. I'll say I'm about a 2. I
Uh-huh.
definitely, you know, am concerned overall about everything going on, but not super duper surprised. I mainly just want to talk about this whole situation with Alberto and the specifically the apology. Yes. And I've been working on the alpha stuff, so I have lots of alpha work to do. We have payroll work to do. We've got accounting to do. We've got deadlines to address, including the SEC deadline, and there's another deadline for the recruitment. And I'm not sure who's working on it. Check.
Okay. I'm equally a two also, and been working on accounting support. I don't know if we can review later, Jay. Okay. Accounting support updates, report updating, and then some deadlines, weekly deadlines, and also payroll. Deadlines.
Okay, so focus is that. So for me, the priority session is obviously contention. So for me, the primary topic is this issue about you know Alberto's request for apology.
Apology. So we can only focus about contentious now, Jay.
Yes, and
Okay.
then we wanna break up into buddy teams, right? Break up into buddy teamwork.
Okay. I think Alberto wants team apology, not only apology to you. I think so. Okay, what else? Anything else, Jay? Do you want to discuss today?
I mean, there's so many other things, but for me, that's the main thing. I guess the other topic could be like what can be addressed during Luisa's week.
Uh, okay. Hmm.
And for me, the things that can't be addressed obviously is like real-time session policies, um, uh, Discord communication policies, the async, right? Async/Discord,
Yes.
and continue improving code, uh, comms code. I think those are the main things that I kind of got. Oh, also addressing um, I don't know, harassment,
Yes.
and or other forms of um, beyond comms.
Like, it's not verbal, no? The Discord, not verbal, like it's written.
Say what?
It's not verbal harassment. It's like written harassment.
It doesn't matter whether it's written or stated verbally. It's just harassment. It doesn't matter how. You don't have to say anything to harass someone. So should we get started or what? On these
Yeah.
topics? What do you think?
Uh, Maybe we can start with daytime session policies. No, no. Discord communication policies while we are waiting for others.
Okay, let's do it. I like that idea.
Okay.
So I'd say the desired outcome here would be to, quickly review possible policies that would apply to our async communication, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 6 to 12 minutes or
Yeah.
12 to 24 minutes.
Yeah. One segment maybe. Yes.
Oh, also, I want to go back to the beginning. It took us 10 minutes to get started, right? So
Uh,
10 minutes, we're all 10 minutes late, right?
yes.
So for me, if we're getting official here, I mean, we just need to start, and this will be related to the real-time session policies. But if we're starting late, then we have to get a strike. So it's policy tracking, right? No.
Yes.
If you're here at the time that no one else was, you don't get a strike. If you're here on time, you don't get a strike. You start late. But anyways, that would be a real-time policy tracking. So we were here on time, so we don't get a strike.
Okay.
As far as I remember, policy. Yeah. And then also, Mel checked in relatively on time, and so she wouldn't get a strike either.
Okay.
All right, so that brings us to topic 1. Are we good?
Okay. No objection. Okay. Shall we make a tab? Quickly review possible policies. Okay, can you start saying what are the policies possible async communications?
Okay, so basically all policies for async would be very similar to real-time sessions, except obviously it would just be asynchronous. So for one example that I gave was the policy proposal. If someone does, if someone breaks the professional communications code 3 times in 24 hours, then they can be temporarily uh, blocked from communicating on Discord.
Okay. This professional communications times 24 hours. So the moderator will block.
Yes, and that also brings up a detail here that if the moderator themselves is the one doing the breaking the
Yeah.
code, they obviously need to be removed as moderator because not only are they not moderating, they're actually encouraging bad behavior.
Yeah.
So in that context, I think we could have another proposal to remove Alberto as moderator for primary FUN community Discord server.
Mm,
So this would be like an example of some proposals that we could consider. Um,
what else? What else?
I mean, I think that's pretty much it that I can think of. I mean, obviously we could say instead of 3 times, it could be 2 times. It could be like you could have other like more minor things, like when people, there could be something. We have the vibes, so like what happens when someone's in vibe. Let's see if we can. I think sometimes you can put people on a cooldown period. Like let's see, City teams say went to Joyce. So if I click on Joyce,
Mm-hmm.
I can say no. I can't do anything on Joyce. So let me go to. It's weird. Yeah. So let me try going with this. Reaction pin reply create thread mark on my speak message delete message report message. We have to go to the settings. So server settings, roles, stickers, configurations, moderation, safety setup, auto mod, offline, advanced, community, server subscriptions, server boost, user management. So if I come in here and I go to Joyce, and click on Joyce, it would say mute soundboard, disable video, change nickname, timeout. So I can do a timeout. So let's see what happens if I click on timeout for you. Okay, Joyce?
Okay.
It says timeout. So I can timeout members who are in the timeout are temporarily not allowed to chat or react to text channels. They are also not allowed to connect to voice or channels, save channels. Reason, enter reason. They will only be visible in the audit log and will not be shown numbered. So you can do a 60-second timeout, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week. So let's write all this down. So options for full timeout of a Discord member. So you have 60 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day.
One day.
Okay.
Okay. 1 week. Okay.
So the problem that I have with this particular thing is that that's like a full removal from the server, which is very, very. It seems like a lot, right? So for me, it would make sense that we would remove them from their more of like their roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the details of this would be so you would get a warning, warning um, for first offense, right?
Okay.
Then you would The second offense maybe it would be like policy tracking, right? So policy tracking for 0.5 hours for second offense, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then for the third offense, we would do temporary removal, temporary removal from
The server.
no, no, from roles, current worker role, and
Uh,
only can communicate on public channels, right?
mhm.
And then the next proposal would be, I don't know, maybe we could say a three more, right?
Okay.
The proposal, okay, so if someone's a worker, if worker breaks professional communications code 3 times, details. Once a worker is removed from worker channels, right? And how long would it be? Oh, with for 24 hours, right? Or how long would it be where they would be removed for?
Hmm. 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah.
How about for the first 3 times we do like 6 hours? Or let's say let's give a window. We could say 3 to um, 12 hours, right?
Temporary mobile phone. Okay. 12 hours. Okay.
So let's say let's say we start, details, start removal for 3 to 6 hours, then can increase or for future for, for additional
Mm-hmm.
violations. Okay, so then once the worker is removed from worker channels, uh, then they get an additional 3 strikes for public channels. Up to 3 strikes. Additional up to 3 strikes. All right, before
Okay.
before that policy kicks in. So then the policy on the public channels is that if someone breaks, if any public member, if any public member of the community breaks the professional communication, so said 3 times with the 25 minutes, they could be um, temporary blocked from communicating on worker Discord channels. Any public member of the community breaks the professional communication sometimes with the 24 hours, they can be temporarily blocked from communicating on public Discord, temporarily um, temporarily removed. Right. If any public member of the community continues 3 times, it can be temporarily. What was it called? It was called get a timeout.
Uh,
Temporarily given a full Discord timeout from communicating on public Discord channels. Okay, so then the timeouts. So if the moderator is doing this, okay, this is not applicable. Warning for first offense.
mhm.
While tracking for 0.5 hours. The second offense. Temporary removal from this would be like given a full timeout for third and additional offenses. So let's start with 1 hour.
1 hour.
So first time will be 1 hour. Second, um, first after three uh,
Offense.
times will get timeout for 1 hour, right? Time out for 1 hour.
Yes.
If the problem continues, go to 1 day. Um, continue to do 1 day timeouts ongoing until 1 week timeout with a decision. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Jay, the rhythm is not working. No?
I don't think the rhythm is on. I can turn the rhythm on. Let me turn it on.
I did not hear
Listen,
anything. It's already.
for a second. Okay.
Okay. Who's this? Um,
Hello.
okay. Hi,
Oh,
Luisa.
Hi.
want to check in?
Hello.
Hello.
What's that?
Oh, we can hear you.
Hi.
Can you check in, Luisa?
Yes. So I am at a six. Um, I had a great session, B2 session with JML yesterday. We were able to to go to the root of the contention and able to resolve the miscommunications. And then yes, didn't do much today in terms of work. Still, hopefully be able to find some solution today. Um, and yeah, I'm looking forward to my trip coming soon. Check.
Great. Thank you. Mal should be here any momentito. So,
Mm-hmm.
as far as the first topic, while we were waiting for people to show up, we decided to go over some asynchronous communication policies for people breaking the professional communications code. So the first policy is basically for a worker to break the professional communications code would be 3 times. So they would get a warning the first time, and the second time they would get policy tracking, and then the third time they would be temporarily removed from communicating on worker Discord channels. This temporary removal would remove them from all their current worker roles. They would only be able to communicate on public channels, right? The first removal would be 3 to 6 hours, then it can increase if needed for additional violations. Once a worker is removed from the worker channel, then they would get an additional up to 3 strikes for public channels before the new public policy kicks in. So then the public policy, for which would apply to anybody, not just workers, is that if any public member of FPN community breaks the professional communications code 3 times within 24 hours, they can be temporarily given a full Discord timeout or full Discord server timeout from communicating on public Discord channels. Details. Warning for the first offense. Policy tracking for half an hour for second offense. Given full timeout for third and additional offenses. After 3 times, we'll get timeout for 1 hour. If problem continues, it goes to 1 day. And then if they continually are getting 1 day timeouts ongoing, it'll be reviewed by the team to make a decision to have them be timed out for an entire. So any decision for more than 1 day would need to be taken by the team to do a week or any longer ban or other thing if it's not obviously clear that they just need to immediately be banned based on their
Mm-hmm.
you know, harassment or whatever they're doing. And then the other policy that we talked about is a proposal to remove Alberto as moderator for the primary FQN community Discord server, right? So
Mm-hmm.
obviously anyone who's being removed for in their relationship to the 24-hour professional communications code, they're breaking the professional communications code, they would be removed from all of their roles, and that obviously would include the moderator role. But since we didn't do that before, the idea is that we could actually remove Roberto as a moderator just directly, regardless of enacting this policy in the future. Because typically we don't do any policies until we actually do policies. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
So that's what we talked about so far in terms of trying to get some clear policies, because we have the professional communications code, but we don't have any clarity on what happens when you actually go against the professional communications code.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Okay.
So I don't know if we want to vote on these now, or we could wait for Mel, or we could just move on.
Yeah. I think Mel is about to
Tracing.
join
Also, these
soon.
would apply. You need to make sure these apply to all email and other forms of communication. Right?
Right.
So also applies to all other forms of async communication uncontrolled FQP.
Okay. And the proposal to remove Alberto as a moderator is because then is it possible to give him timeouts?
No, it's just that in our model, this is supposed to be done by the moderator. So if the moderator is the person who is actually causing the problems, that is they like the last person who should ever be being a bad example for how you should be communicating on Discord would be the moderator. Because the
Okay.
moderator is actually supposed to be doing the opposite. They're supposed to be the one who's showing the example and moderating everybody else's Discord communication. Right? So if it's the moderator who's causing the problem, obviously that is not a good fit.
Okay.
So we can see now to see what role. So he is both a super moderator and a moderator. So there's two roles, there's super moderator and moderator. So in my mind, that we could at least remove him from the role of super moderator, if not both super moderator and moderator. So that does mean that, other people would possibly need to be stepping up as a moderator, or super moderator, and taking on those roles if Alberto's not going to be doing it. But anyways, we can discuss that later.
Okay.
Or as needed. But it certainly would remove certain things that Alberto would no longer be able to do in the Discord server.
Right.
Yeah. But it's just that, for me, if we had this policy already, the policy clearly states that as a worker, if a worker breaks the professional communications code 3 times, that they will be temporarily removed from all current worker roles. Right, which will basically end access to all channels that are not public. Right, so their only way to communicate at that point would be in the public channels. Right, and then we can bring their roles back one at a time, depending on their willingness to follow our professional communications code.
Yeah.
So in that context, it's they would just, if they didn't follow the code and the policies, then they would obviously be removed as a moderator automatically. But since we didn't have this policy in place, we can still remove Alberto as a moderator based on his past communications on Discord. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a separate decision but in the future we will never have to deal with that. So if a moderator steps out of line and starts going like all cray, on Discord, they would automatically lose their role. It's just a given based on policy, because the policy will temporarily move a worker from all current worker roles. Right? So in this case, I mean we can yeah. So we could also note, I guess we could note here that if they have a moderation role, like if they have a moderator role, that role would have to actually we could say this, we could say after the time, wait, start removal, here's the stars, okay, boom, and insert, boom. So they get removed for 3 to 6 hours for the first time. After that time, actually, let's say 3 to 15 hours, because if it's at night, you go to sleep, you're not waking up in the middle of the night to add them back in, you know. So it's like it allows for either a short term or full nights for people, right? So if you have to sleep for 12 hours, it gives you the 3 hours the next day, you know. So after this time, they have after this time they will be will be added back to all of their roles. But if they have a moderator role, that role will have to be addressed within the team before getting it back, right? Cool. Awesome. I think that works. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I don't know if we want to vote on these or we could just bring them to main session on Thursday.
Yeah, I think there was only 3 of us to vote. I'm not sure how many votes do we need to pass this.
Well, the issue is not in regards to, like, all of our decision making is based on time, not based on number of people. So if 3 people show up for the main session, you can make any decision and for the entire organization with 2 people. You know, it doesn't matter who shows up, you know, as long as everyone knows. But because this is like a one-time session, this doesn't have the power of the main session. So the main session would need to review all these policy proposals because they're pretty substantial.
Okay.
Because it affects communication, you know. But we could still vote on the removal of Alberto being removed as a moderator. That is definitely something that can be done immediately.
Okay.
If we wanted to vote on that now, I mean, I don't know. Otherwise, we can just discuss this on Thursday with the team and move on to the next topic.
I may not be able to attend the Thursday session.
Yeah, we're not.
Thursday, Jay. Thursday.
Okay, cool. Well, so yeah, let's just move on and we can discuss all this on Thursday and let's add these.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good to me. What's the next topic?
Well, we have a lot of options that we have a view of. So
okay.
I don't know if Mel's going to come, but for me, the top priority is really just understanding and discussing this whole issue in regards to the what's it called? The Alberto's request for an apology. So the desired outcome will be clarity on options, understanding regards to the request, and how to address it professionally.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my top priority. Are there any other topics that you all have?
Yeah, that would be okay. For me, that would be
okay. Let's see.
Well, and just so you know, in terms of the real-time session policies, I want to do something very similar to the async communications, that basically within one session, if you break the professional communications code within 3 times or whatever, that you can be removed from the session, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know? So, and have the policy track clear on that. So that's the next step in terms of the real-time session policies. And we have a lot of other real-time session policies, which will help for professionally in the context of what has been going on with Alberto.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, we can deal with that later. But what we can't deal with later is understanding this request for the apology. So I would love to just go into this and just get clarity on that and have understanding.
Yes.
Good. And then anything else that maybe you would want us to do while you're on leave and get clarity on your leave, that could also be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get clarity on Luisa's leave, you know, when coming back and goals well. Cool. So did those two topics sound good? I mean, this one shouldn't take very long. We're like 6 to 12 minutes, and then this one, yeah, both of these should be pretty quick. 12 minutes.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So do these two
Alberto is,
topics sound good?
Alberto is so fun. It keeps on disturbing.
What?
Anyway,
Um,
Alberto keeps on popping up on the Discord.
Yes, he's actively sending messages. I know.
Intentional or I don't know. It's very funny.
Let's just focus on the session. So unless he
mm-hmm.
says something applicable to us. All right. So do these two topics sound good?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's go with them
No,
first, and
no
then
objections.
yeah.
No objections.
Okay. So topic 2, as long as there's no objections, we're talking about this apology situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know where we want to start with this, but for me, I would probably start with the idea that, because of the way it's affecting the organization, it might make sense to get clarity. For example, everyone's kind of waiting. So if there's definitely not going to be a apology, it would be good to know that, as well as knowing kind of like what is even the context of this in the first place in relationship to how it affects the team and like the professionality of it and such. So, and then we also have the list here that Alberto has um, given for his 3 requests here as well.
Sorry for being
Oh, hey,
late.
Eileen, one second.
Yeah, hello, Jay. Hello, everyone. I just want to attend
Hi.
the contentious session because worker is invited to attend contentious session, and I'm at good today, and I'm working on budget and payroll and starting to post a NRT. Starting to post the requirement in the social media.
What's your number, Aideen?
I'm at 5.
Five.
What about the setup? Are you working on the recruitment setup?
Yes, Jay.
What?
I'll be working on recruitment setup.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a deadline on August 12.
16 at 12. Yeah, 12. Mm-mm.
The setup.
The setup. Okay.
Jay, we need you for that, right? For the setup.
No, you guys can set it up, but you might want to work with me as well to
Yes.
support and help on it. I'm happy to work and help and support with you, but obviously it needs to be verified with me after you get the work done.
Mm. Before we post before we starting to post, so you need to
Well,
verify
before
the
the posting can be verified, we need to have agreement on all of the posts that are going to be done. That is part of the setup.
setup. Okay.
So we need to have a
Setup.
schedule with you,
Mm-hmm.
Jay.
Setup.
But the setup overall just needs to be verified. We skip the setup. Anyways, getting back on track and focusing on the topic. So we have this, for better or worse, we have this apology, this request from Alberto for this apology. So my understanding in relationship to the organizational framework for it, and why we even would prioritize and discuss this is obviously it's affecting the entire team. It's also affecting the ability to move forward with the contentious situation. It is being presented in relationship to an appointed executive role, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So those are the main things that I'm hearing in relationship to how it affects and how this is an organizational issue as opposed to a personal issue. So for again, like I was saying before, the outcomes would be outcomes, a clear no on which ones, etc. On one or all, and then and or options for moving forward, or other options for moving forward. So does that sort of make sense? Like, I don't know if Joyce or Eileen, you have anything you wanted to add in terms of like how it's affecting you guys, but I think it would be good just to hear from Luisa and kind of get clarity on this whole situation, which is kind of odd. But I think it's good to take it professionally and just address it. And we could read the three. There's one, having acted in a way that has made Jay feel hurt. Two, having locked up in such a way to force Alberto to cut his leave 3 weeks prior, and then not acknowledging the suffering has brought to the team. Those are the three things that Alberto requested in relation to this.
He's asking for like apology for the team, saying that
I don't know where he's asking the apology to go. I don't know if it really matters whether the apology is to the team or individual or whatever. I don't see that in writing, but you know.
yeah, we keep on telling him that Luisa already apologized to you. And then he
What is
said
it?
no. She should we keep on telling him that Luisa already apologized to you, and then he said that no, she should apologize to the team. I don't know what he means.
Okay,
Is there
so I don't know. I
I
don't know
mean,
anything about that either. I don't know whether or not any apologies were made, but that makes sense in terms of what you're saying, Joyce. That you're saying that according to Alberto did apologize. Oh no, did hear at least apologize, but that he wants more in relationship to the team.
yeah.
So I don't know. Anyways, let's just hear from Luisa. We'll just go from there and just kind of figure out what the particular situation. Oh, look, Mel's here. Mel, do you want to check in?
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you guys just started yet?
We've been going for about 40
We're in the second topic.
Okay. Are we doing check-ins right now?
Well,
Yes.
we all already checked in, but you can check in.
Yeah. Probably like a 4, and basically, I'm still actually at the vet, so I might but I'm waiting. So I'm gonna be on mute until and follow along as best as I can. But I'll be back at my desk as soon as I can get home. So yeah, check.
Okay, thanks, Mel. We hope you're the best with Bella and like your wonderful family member.
Okay, thank you.
Well, just so you know, we had 2 topics. The first topic was a few proposals on specifically Discord and async communications, as well as potential proposals to remove Alberto from the moderator role on Discord. And then, but we didn't vote on anything. And then topic 2 is discussing this very, very strong request from Alberto about this apology for the 3 different things and understanding the current situation and how that is affecting the team and the ability to move forward with the session and his relationship as executive chef.
Okay.
So we haven't heard from Luisa yet, so that's kind of the next step.
So am I going to speak now or? Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, so I guess if I just look at the request, so number 1, I would need to, have your testimonial or ask you what happened, and because I feel like he's talking on behalf of of you. And then the second one, it's something that I forced Alberto to cut his leave, and I think it's a strong statement, because I don't feel like I forced him to cut his leave. I was not the responsible factor, or I did not ask him to cut his leave, or nor was I feel like nobody on the team asked him also. So I don't know what this forced came, like what is the meaning of forced. And then the suffering that I brought to the team. And so this is also something that he says on behalf of other people. I mean, he can say maybe I brought some suffering to him, or the situation has brought suffering to him. But to say that it brought suffering to the team, he's speaking on behalf of other people. So again, I don't understand this request. And of course, at this moment, I will say I cannot apologize for things I don't understand why I need to apologize for. But I bring up also I wonder why he needs these apologies, in terms of these are the things he needs me to apologize for. But what is the reason why he's asking me to apologize? I, apart from power play, I don't see clear reasons, and rather I'm like, maybe I can see that trust has been broken because of this misunderstanding. I honestly don't really trust Alberto in this moment, and to the point where I would, gladly to be on leave until this situation between me and Alberto is resolved, and we can, be in the same virtual room without creating tensions and anxiety to each other, and to the team. So I don't know if it's, how do we rebuild trust because of what happened? I'm happy to, engage and discuss about it. And for these requests, I really don't know why and understand the request. So I cannot apologize. I don't know. I don't know why. So I don't understand why. I feel like for an apology to really happen sincerely, you need to understand that I did something wrong. I made a mistake. I did something wrong, and so I understand that I made that mistake. So also when I apologize, I amend, and so it's something that needs to happen within me, and between me and Alberto to say, okay, I did this, and we'll do this to not do that again. So it does not give me enough information to process them. Check.
Cool. Great. So 3 things. 1, just as the facilitation role, I want to go through the request. 2, see if anyone else wants to say anything. And then 3, I do have some things I would want to say myself, my own perspective. But let's start with this request. So are you clearly stating a request? You want to know why Alberto is asking for these apologies? Why
Yes.
and what intentions does Alberto have in wanting these apologies? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And if he says I did something wrong, then I guess these are the reason why I did something wrong, right? And I'm like, I don't understand the reasons. Does it make sense what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things. Yeah, based on his intention and having clarity on why, that can relate to how you want to respond. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And so, does anyone else want to add anything?
Can I just ask a clarifying question? So basically, it seems like Alberto's not attending today because he demands an apology first, right? And so Luisa is open to apologizing, but basically, what for? specifically, what harm did she specifically inflict upon him? But, and he should be, she's open to apologizing for something she did to him specifically, or he needs to even just use language that isn't blamatory or blamey for something other than just speak for himself, right? So that's it. Yeah. Okay.
Julia, anyone else? Joyce, Aline? Okay, so I can speak for a little bit in my perspective.
Yes.
So obviously, Luisa can decide for herself what she wants to do, and her understanding of what she would or would not want to apologize for, that is obviously up to her. In terms of the organizational perspective, I think there is a couple components here, like which are applicable. I think it's definitely good that we're discussing this, right? So in terms of the first thing that you requested, Luisa, in terms of understanding what happened for me, that testimonial, I mean, for me, it was just obviously a very difficult situation. Like now that we know I had misinformation based on my communications with Joyce and Tay yesterday, we decided that you did not break policy, and that you actually did show up on time and communicating on Discord, but that we missed your communication and did not respond appropriately, in which case both Joyce and myself broke policies, and we both have been policy tracking for that. So I obviously in that moment felt very, I don't know, what from not taking seriously to, being confused, to not understanding, to being distracted and overwhelmed, to everything related to, I didn't feel good about it. It felt very, very bad in that moment, and feeling ignored and not being able to just address it, and jump on and do all the different things that we needed to do. So for me, it was definitely a hard, difficult situation, even though it was based on a misconception and miscommunication and just not being aligned and all these other problems. And there's a dozen other problems that we saw, that happened beforehand. But I still felt the way that I felt, and I still, had a difficult communication interaction with you at that time. In the context of my role in it, I made a full apology to you and the team in writing yesterday, based on my role and my mistakes that I made. And I definitely, very sorry for not reading, understanding the whole situation. I think part of it was my inability to kind of just focus on each step in the process, and I was just way too busy and overwhelmed with the rushing, trying to get off the half pay stops, which we definitely discussed as multiple days of half pay stops definitely took its toll and on being focused, organized, conscientious way. So yeah, that was like one of many different problems that occurred at that time. So that's my perspective, my testimonial, and my understanding. And then as far as the rest of it, for me, in the context of a organizational perspective, and Alberto being an executive, that he can make a statement in relationship to the needs of the team. And as an executive myself, there's just no question that this situation has affected the entire team. And in that way that it affected the team, I don't know what you would want to call it. Alberto's calling it suffering. I don't know, you always use that word a lot. I obviously would not use that word. But it's like, we're not focused on the work. Right? So the fact that we're not focused on the work is the problem in relationship to how this is affecting. And so why or how or whatever reason that Alberto chose not to stay on his leave, I don't know, but he feels personally affected by that in a way that obviously affects the team and affects his executive role. So I don't know why or what it is about it, but I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. As far as Alberto's communication and saying his intention why, he's responding as because I'm serious. Because I'm a serious man and I am a Alberto Twergy. If I feel apologies are required, you just, and this is my home, this is a disgrace. So he's basically putting in a perspective that, he was appointed as an executive. He feels like, he is asking for a, he's asking to be acknowledged as a role in the team professionally, even though you don't personally acknowledge or have any sense of wanting to work with them or doing anything. Professionally and as an organization, we as an organization have made a decision by consensus to appoint Alberto as an executive. For better or worse, we did that. And so he technically does have a role in the organization at that level. So I think that's it on my side. Check.
Are we doing rounds or do I,
Whoever wants to go. Yeah, fine.
anyone?
No, I don't have anything now. Right now.
Permission to speak, okay?
Sure.
For me, it's okay, Luisa, if you if you apology to Alberto. Yes, for me, just to stop the situation. And then later on, I know Alberto will also realize that he also made mistake, and then he will also say apologize to you. Yeah, there is no other. It can be solved, Luisa. It can be.
Anyone can copy and paste like the comments from Alberto. I can't copy and paste. I don't know why I can't copy and paste it. Don't do that. So
Just now?
anything else, Eileen? Yeah, he's communicating the eval.
Uh, so
Yeah, yeah. Check. That's all that I can say.
Yeah.
Context.
Oh no, I can't even type. No. Oh.
What is this? What's this? I cannot. Copy.
Okay, so one thing that I'm seeing here from Alberto. Oh, thank you. So Alberto says, for example, if I feel apologies are required, you just do them, right? So for me, this seems like a policy proposal, right? So the proposal would be, if an apology is requested, then a apology uh, is to be given for your breaking policy, right? Right. So details would be if you don't, no giving apology. I don't know. We could say, half an hour. Um, uh, policy tracking, right? So the idea is that not giving an apology would be against policy. So that's kind of what I'm hearing in terms of Alberto's response. I don't know what that means, but obviously in terms of personal context, his own personal interest to have an apology, he can request whatever he wants. But in organizational context, unless it's policy, it's just not applicable. And this is now getting to vibes again, not surprisingly.
Yeah.
So if an apology is requested by the person who feels that has been done the wrongdoing on, so you say, I feel that I have been harassed, I have been ridiculed, racism comments. I have been
If you
threatened.
could link that one, that would be helpful. Because I've heard that twice now, that someone said that something was stated that was racist, and it would be very helpful to see that, because that's twice now I've heard it, and not.
Do you want me to link the comment of the racist comment?
Yes, absolutely. Because for me, that takes another level.
This one.
I'm back home now, but it's where he talks about China,
Yeah,
working
I'll
with
link
Chinese
it.
people. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the
I'll
only
link
place I
it.
saw it.
Yeah, it would be good to see that, because the only place I saw Alberto apologizing was this particular comment. He said, "I, Alberto, apologize for having publicly used intentionally vibes to react to a concerning situation, and I am sorry from the bottom of my heart to bring stress among them." So he did say that, so we could also address that, you know?
He's very, very angry, and I don't understand why.
Okay.
Why is he angry, Luisa? Do you know? Why is angry to you?
I feel like he didn't like me since the very beginning.
You felt it?
Yeah. Since when I did my POPP, he started laying like, very not professional comments. And now I'm like wondering, does he have anything with Chinese people now? I don't know. But definitely I have been a target. So this is what I feel like it's racist.
It's very, very.
Which one?
So the one line 124. So he says, I don't know, I did a lot of deals with Chinese culture. Typical, just dishonest in the guts, not taking any of this, blah, 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 blah. We're something else here. So, these people, they have no clue what's coming. I'm not sure if he was still referring at me, but that was his whole message. But he started with, Chinese people are dishonest in the guts. Typical. So, you can,
Okay, but would that be a discriminatory,
I wanted
like, for example, a discriminatory tactic, or would that just be like for example, a nasty statement, or like a racist statement, right?
I think it was in a response to your comment, which was, I'm not happy with the results, and certainly hope that Luisa does not quit. We'll have to see what she decides, but she wanted to. She could be a valuable asset to the team and humanity. You have to give her that. I think it's this one, right? That she has a lot of guts. And then he says dishonesty in the guts. So he, is, this is just one example of the harassment that I'm going through. Even in the
Okay, so
contention session.
Can we copy and paste the message that it was presented from? Because I think that's extremely important, right?
Yes.
Because it's not in context without the message that it was.
Where was that? When was
So
that?
why I do? Okay, I put it on Word.
August 6. What's that?
Also, Joyce Ate, I believe you owe my money. I want it back by the end of August. Don't
What
take
is
me
that?
and ask again. What is that all about?
Oh my goodness. What's that? I think that there are.
So I mean, basically, Alberto's saying that he felt suffered. So like you were saying before, if he's felt this way, then that is pretty clear why he's asking for the apology. So I think this is more information for why he's asking for the apology, is that he feels hurt, he felt like he suffered.
And happy to investigate more why he feels that way. I just feel that he is blaming me for his suffering. At this point, I need to understand why he's blaming me for his suffering.
But I feel like the question was, why is he asking for these requests for apology? And then he's giving an answer, and your response to his answer is that you want to know why he feels why?
Sorry, can you repeat what you said?
Okay, so he was requesting to have an apology on these three things.
Okay.
You were requesting why did he want to have an apology on those three things? So he's saying why he wants them, that he felt hurt, that he feels like he suffered. And then you're responding by you want to know why he feels why.
Okay. So he said, sorry. So he said he suffered. Okay. Now, he is saying that he suffered because of me, something I did that caused emotional suffering to him. Right? Is that the correct interpretation of what he said?
Sure. I mean, it's right here. It says that he says it doesn't matter. He says, I felt hurt, I suffered.
Okay. And again, Eileen, maybe I'm going to address what you ask, which is, just apologize. Which is, you want me to say sorry? I can say sorry. Now, I am not a person that says sorry just to say sorry. I feel like I really emphasize on true, authentic apologies, because I've told my mom, I had an argument. I wasn't ready to say sorry, and I just say sorry, whatever. And she knew it wasn't real, and it took me time to get back and really reflect and get back and go back to her and really say sorry from the bottom of my heart, because I felt that I did something wrong, that I hurt her, whatever happened. But in this case, you want me to say sorry to Alberto, I can say sorry. And it would be as equal to maybe the apologies that he does, which is, oh, sorry for being a bully. I'm not, I'm doing my best not to do it again. And then, it went worse. So if Alberto wants something like the same apology that he does, no problem. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So where are we now? Are you saying that you do want to apologize, or are you saying that you don't want to apologize authentically, or?
Can you ask Alberto if that's okay?
If what's okay?
What I just said is okay for him?
Does he want a fake apology, or just to say it, or a real one?
I don't think it really matters at all. I think it's just like whatever you want to do or feel comfortable with, it's up to you. I'm not asking you to do an apology if you don't want to. I'm just asking to have clarity on what's going on. And if you don't want to make an apology, then to make that very clear. If you want to make an apology, just make an apology and just do it on Discord and be done with it. And then, I mean, Alberto made an apology. I don't think it's enough. I think everyone needs to communicate and talk about it in a session and figure out what the hell is going on here. You know what I mean? But obviously that's not going to happen without dealing with these are like the little things, right? So in the end, it's up to you, Luisa, to decide what you want to do and respond and communicate.
Yeah,
Can I
and
just ask
yeah,
Eileen also, like, did you read the threads? Did you see some of the things he was saying, Eileen, for you to be suggesting that Louisa issue an apology? It is, in my opinion, severe harassment, bullying, violence, derogatory language, racism. And when someone
correct.
acts like that, you have to set your boundaries. And if someone did that to you, are you going to apologize to them for being a victim? So, Eileen, I just want to understand, are you following the story closely? Or are you just being a peacekeeper, which I can understand? Just be like, you know what? Both people are wrong in this situation. Both people should just apologize for the sake of apology so we can move forward. I just
And
don't
then also,
understand.
yeah,
Yeah.
may I add, because I'm a woman, I should apologize first, Eileen. I'm Chinese.
Uh,
I'm
mm,
minority. I should apologize to a white man first,
uh, all I mean is,
or a white angry man first.
okay, okay. I know sometimes we cannot understand Alberto. Okay, what he's saying. Okay, maybe he only says that it's because of his anger. Okay, and I read the thread, and then I will crush you, and don't go to mine. You're in my country. Blah 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 blah. I saw that. I saw that.
Okay, good.
I
Yeah.
saw that. Yeah, yeah, I saw that. But for
How did
me,
I
as a
make you
feel,
feel,
okay, okay.
Eileen?
But for me, if
Sorry,
someone
sorry.
says that to me, as a
Yes.
Filipino, as a Filipino woman, we will not take it seriously because it is just a word. In our place here in Mindanao, if you want to kill somebody, we won't say that. We'll just keep quiet and we will do that the next day or the next week. And then it's because if you say something, I'm gonna crush you, I'm gonna kill you. If what will happen to that person the next day, you will be the primer suspect. You get what I mean? Okay. Yeah, yeah, that is why for me, if you're gonna say that to me, bullied me, blah blah blah, I will only say that okay, 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 Alberto. If I did something wrong for you, if you feel that I am wrong, if you see that I did a mistake on you, I've hurt you, okay, please, sorry. I will say sorry for you. I will ask apologies for you. I will say sorry. That's it. Done. Check.
Okay, so then I take that as a great suggestion. And I can say, if I hurt you, Alberto, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know we cannot understand Alberto sometimes. We all know that.
So again, I mean, in the end, it's up to you, Lisa, to decide what you want to do. For me, all I'm requesting is that it's just clear, right? So if you want to do an apology, you can make an apology. You can be as real or as not real as you want. And then, of course, you can also focus on, um, like you're saying, like what is an authentic apology? Meaning, what are we actually trying to address here in relationship to getting apologies on all sides, if that is actually a priority for this group initiative. But again, it's up to you. Whatever we do, we should just make it clear
I feel
now.
like, okay, so I feel like Eileen made a point, which is, culturally, this is indeed he's angry. And so, you just say, if I hurt you, I'm sorry. That's it, move on. I grew up in Italy as a Chinese minority. I've experienced a massive amount of racism. And I don't know if Eileen, you have experienced racism growing up. Have you?
Yes, yeah, yeah. Since elementary, I've been bullied since elementary up to high school.
Bully in
Yes,
the Philippines.
yes, yes.
Have
Since
you have
elementary
you
up to high
experienced
school,
racism?
and then the what do we call this one? And then it slipped on my mind the word what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Yes, I've been bullied since elementary, and then discrimination. Yes, that is
Such
also one.
as?
Yeah, yeah. It's because um yeah, discrimination for me because
Could you bring me an
I
example of
mean,
discrimination you have experienced? I don't want to bring you there, but maybe something that
I
is
mean,
not doesn't hurt anymore.
I feel like this is going a little off topic. Like,
Well, okay, I'm trying to um pass a point, which is I have experienced racism from Italian people growing up in Italy. Okay, and I had to go to my POPP and change where I live because I did take what Alberto said seriously. I don't understand, it was he did it, it was anger, whatever, whatever, if anything happened, he will be the primary suspect. I don't care. I am a mother of a 2-year old. I'm taking care of my old parents. I don't take these kind of threats easily or lightly. I got scared.
I understand. Hmm.
I literally went on my POPP and I changed my city and I made it um, view only, so he can go back and see my history. I don't know what he will be doing. I don't know where he comes from. I don't know what he's capable of. I don't know him. I just met him online. Don't even and I've seen his face a couple times.
yeah. So it's good to know that in our policies that anyone is welcome to be involved anonymously. Nobody has to give their actual names or information or address or anything like that, except in any legal context, which we protected. And people actually have to have direct legal representation in relationship to our token models as well as our, or you can be anonymous with tokens, and then you can also have models in relationship to aliases and or just community equity and trust. Right? So I think that's definitely important. Good. I mean, we're in a very, very difficult situation here. It's very concerning. It's very problematic on many, many levels that need to be addressed and discussed. But we also do need to move on from this particular topic. Um, so I think that we need to talk about the harassment. We need to talk about the racism. We need to talk about the communications code and all of the
An
policies.
intentional violence against me because he said everything he did was intentional.
The
So you
harassment.
say, okay, he was angry, but it turns out he said he was intentional with everything he did and said.
Well, sure. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter whether it's intentional or not. It is unacceptable. Period. Right? You don't need to have an intention to hurt somebody. If you hurt them, and it's a problem. Right? So, what I'm trying to say is that I want to address all those things in other topics, and that this particular topic is just like dealing with this apology situation. The concern and the question in relationship to Alberto was that he wanted to join, but he was requesting an apology. So we either deal with that and address it, and then we move on, because there's really nothing else to talk about in relationship to this particular topic. There's a lot to talk about for a lot of other topics. But this topic is not about Luisa or Joyce or anyone else. This topic is about Alberto, right? Him requesting an apology for specific reasons. And so if we don't do the apology, that's fine. If there's requests about why he's requesting an apology, that's also fine. We did that. We got the clarity on why. And then if there's more information about what is the testimonials, the information about what he's asking for, that's also fine. You can go into that. But in the end, it's like, okay, it's either a yes or no. In my perspective, would like many different apologies from Alberto, but I want way more than that from Alberto in relationship to all of these other issues. So we can certainly talk about that as well. But I feel like in terms of just moving on from this particular topic, I think we have all the information we need, right? Or not? Or am I missing?
Look what he just said. I am going to get you. Don't worry, bitch.
Yeah, I read that and I put vibes. It's completely out of control. Like, these are harassment. These are direct attack and harassment.
Like if I could, I would hire a bodyguard right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Aileen, it may be angry, but damn, hey guys, it sounds really real. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really
Yeah.
scared right
Yeah.
now.
For me,
Okay,
no,
that's
for me
what I'm
also.
saying here. That's what I'm saying here, is that this is an unacceptable situation And what's absolutely unacceptable as facilitator is to continue without addressing the situation. And this is not the topic to address it in. Right? In this topic, it's either a yes, I'm doing an apology, a no, I'm doing an apology, or I have a request or a question, and then the topic's over. Do you guys see what I'm trying to say? Because then we need to get focused on much more important things.
I hear what. Yeah. So what's the decision?
Alberto is either gets an apology and comes to the session, then we actually address this as with Alberto, if he chose to do that, or we need to end this topic because this is going. I feel like this is we're at the. I don't know how much we can go in this particular topic.
Okay, I get it. This was 6 to 12 minutes. Luisa, are you going to apologize or not? Everyone has said their piece. I think it's totally okay to not at this point, and then we can move on to topic 3. Yeah. Or you can go ahead and do it. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Again,
For me,
I can apologize. Basically, funding the team is now threatening to, leave and get his money back, and I'm sorry for that. If you guys want me to say sorry, so you can be, so you can keep your jobs, I understand. I can say sorry because I'm doing it for the team. I'm doing it for you because I know you need this job. You had bills. You got kids. You have family you need this money. I can say sorry for you.
So, like Joyce, I don't know. I did not hear Joyce ask for that. Joyce can say if she wants to ask for that. I didn't hear Eileen ask for that. She can say if she did ask for that. I am obviously not asking for that myself. If you want to apologize, it should be from you.
That's not true, Jay. Eileen did ask.
Yeah.
She did ask. She requested that or suggested that Luisa apologize. And I also want to hear from Joyce what you were. I think Joyce was trying to say something.
She suggested to apologize in relationships. The idea that she doesn't take Alberto seriously, and that's just the way that she sort of acts. She didn't say like, "Oh, can you please apologize so that I don't have to send this money back and that I get paid next week?" Like, I did not hear that.
Yeah, not that one, not that one.
Okay, so
I just apologize to the team and to him to finish everything.
If you want to.
Yeah, if you want to.
Like,
because
if you don't want to apologize, you shouldn't apologize. If you want to apologize, it's up to you. It's a personal decision for yourself. It's not. You're not doing it for me. I'm not asking. I'm personally not asking you to apologize.
But Joyce and Eileen have asked me to apologize.
Yeah,
can I ask you also, Joyce and Eileen?
Well, no, I'm asking you to apologize if you want to apologize based on his request, but it's your decision. I'm not asking you to apologize for me. Do you see the difference?
Okay. Yes. Is Eileen asking me to apologize for her?
No, Luisa, just say I'm
Okay.
apologizing in behalf to the team. I'm apologizing to you. So just like you said that it escalated because of the team, like this. So that's my suggestion. As I see from the picture, that's what he's asking for only. That's it. To have peace. To him, apologize to him and to the team. If you can just, I don't know. It's very hard to explain.
Eileen, do you want to respond?
Maybe sorry. Okay, Eileen.
Just to end up this situation, and then we move forward. Just to end up the situation.
Okay, I mean, in my perspective, it's like I just fully empower Luisa to do anything that you feel comfortable with doing, and for me, it's all about answering your questions and getting clarity. You do not want to apologize. You tell us that, we document it, we move forward. If you do apologize, then you just do it on Discord in writing, and it's done. And that's it. And it's up to you to decide, make your decision. But whatever you do, you need to do it in the present because we do need to move forward. But in the context of what it means to apologize, I personally feel like it is not nothing, but it's very little. It's almost nothing. Right? Because like getting actually doing the apology does not mean anything else is going to happen. right? The original goal, okay, if you quickly apologized, maybe he would have jumped on to the seat and communicated. We don't know if that's even going to happen. But the point is that you can apologize and it will change nothing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, there's no expectation from me about this apology. He's requesting it. It either happens or when it happens. There's nothing in our in our policies that say anyone does or does not need to apologize. And there's nothing in our policies that makes an apology mean anything in relationship to how everything will move forward. It's just all hypothetical.
Okay. So
Yes,
maybe
but
is it also okay that I take my time to think about this and I don't have
That
to
would be
give
a
an
no.
answer now?
Yeah, that would just be a no. So if you don't want to apologize now, that's perfectly fine. Obviously, you are empowered to apologize tomorrow or the next day and the next day after that. And you can apologize 10 million times over for the next 10 years. That is your personal choice to make. As an organization, we're requesting a decision now.
But you're only giving me two
Choose not
choices,
to
yes or
apologize
no, right?
now. That's perfectly fine, and that's a no. That you are choosing not to apologize now, and that's a decision that you're making. And in the proposal, in the context of this organizationally, was that Alberto made very clear that if there's an apology, he would be willing to jump on the session to continue the contentious session. I don't know if that means anything at this point. It really doesn't matter either way, because that's up to his personal decision making whether he's going to get on the session. But the point that I'm trying to make is that your decision in the present is what the organization is requesting, from my understanding. Does that make sense?
Okay, and then can I
Temporary,
clarify?
right? Yeah.
I only have yes or no as an option. I don't have, I'll think about it.
No, that I'll think about it is a no.
Is a no.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the context of this topic and this issue as an organization is that the request has been made in relationship to this specific session at this specific moment in time in the present. So anything that doesn't happen right now is not applicable. Does that make sense? Because it was requested by.
Can I just clarify? Because I think you're saying this, like, Jay, I think, like, basically, like, Alberto's willing to join the session right now in real time. He's, like, on standby, very active and aggressive on Discord because he wants to join this session, right? And so right now, if you say later, then he's not going to join. The only way he'll join is if you quote apologize. So then Jay's just trying to figure out, and everyone's trying to just diffuse the situation. I see why, they may suggest apologies so that Alberto can jump on the session now and we can just talk it all out as a team, as opposed to him basically just sitting by himself at the computer, just getting angry that this is happening without him or something like that. Like, he wants to be on this call, but So in that case, I mean, hopefully that clarifies it. And if you don't want him on this call, let's just not apologize right now. If you want him to jump on right now, then
That's a good point. No, I don't think it's a good moment.
I mean, for me, it's not about whether or not you want Alberto on the call. For me, that's a separate issue. But your personal choice whether to apologize or not is really all that's the issue here. And it's good to note that Alberto made a very clear referendum, not just to you, but to the entire team. He said before this session that he did not want anyone to get on the session and join him not getting on the session as an ultimatum to everybody, right? Unless you apologize before the session.
So he's singling me.
I don't know what he's doing, but the point is that this is not just about you, Luisa, it's about all of us, because he told all of us not to get on the session without your apology. And I mean, there's just no policy about, we're not here doing what Alberto's bidding. So it's just like, I'm here trying to get clarity on what is going on. I agreed to get on the session with Mel and Luisa, and I stick to my agreements. I don't care what Alberto says. I agreed to be on the session at this time. Before Alberto said anything, that was my decision to both of you, and I stick to my commitments. I'm a person of my word, so I'm here, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is that this issue and this situation, in my perspective, should be very minor and very quick, and it's just either an apology or not apology, and move on to more important things.
Yeah, I understand where you guys are coming from. All of you, Jay, Irene, Joyce. and I appreciate you being on this session and sharing your perspectives. I honestly will die inside if I apologize right now because it's just not fair. It's not, again, it's what I said last time. These are not the values I stand for. You know what I'm saying? Like this world is already really, really um, polarized in so many things, and it's all about pointing fingers at other people and creating more distance. I wonder why wars happens. Like, I'm not saying that I'm so important now that I'm gonna start a war or something, but I'm like looking at little things. It's just like somebody who has power got offended, did not receive an apology, or wasn't able to um, be in the present moment, and stop hearing to these stories in his head and his ego boosting. Like I guess I just learned too much up until now. I met a guru and I got some few hints of enlightenment. So I'm at this point, I'm like, maybe I'm scared because I had to take care of my son and my parents, and I'm scared because if anything happens to me, who is going to take care of them? But I'm not scared in the sense of like fighting what is not
Okay.
right. So
Okay.
I'm not going to apologize, and I'm
Okay.
sorry, Eileen and Joyce and Jay.
Okay,
I'm
so,
sorry.
so I think it's clear now that you are not going to apologize. So Luisa is not going to apologize. And then would you like to add anything in relationship to why you are choosing not to apologize?
Because his requests for apologies are unfounded. I don't see the request for apologies. What's the word? That's There's no foundation for what he's asking for, because if he has any, if he's hurting, he's suffering, the roots of that suffering is in him. It's not me. I'm not causing him suffering. I'm not physically abusing him. I did not violently talk to him. I did not harass him. I did not do anything that would be considered as cause of suffering. So what he's asking is not, for me, correct. Is not right. For what I've personally experienced in these few days, I should ask him to apologize. And on top of that, compensation for my emotional stress, because I've been harassed, I've been threatened. I keep getting these threats, right? I'm not even asking him to apologize. I've been ridiculed as well, being called liar and arrogant, pathetic bitch. So I'm sorry, team. I cannot do this. It's crossed a big line in what I believe in and what I stand for.
No, it's okay. That's your choice.
Yeah.
We're just suggesting the way that we see it. So it's your choice.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that is very clear. Anything else anyone wants to add?
Not at the moment.
Okay, so shall we go to the next topic, or do you want to take a break first?
We could take a break.
Okay, let's take a break, and then we would be talking about what can we address during Luisa's leave. Okay, in
Yeah.
terms of like our next steps that we want to do and understand when Luisa comes back and that whole situation. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Hmm. Well, we still have 2 more minutes, huh? Anyone back?
Yeah. There's so much. What's happening to Alberto's brain?
I'm back and
Right. So let's go on
I'm
to
back.
the next topic.
Mhm.
All right. So right. So topic 3. Luisa's leave. Is Luisa back at all, or?
Yep, back.
Cool.
Maybe I can
The main question is
initiate this topic.
when you're thinking about coming back and what you think you do while you're gone.
Right. Okay. So I feel at this time, because of how these contentions went, I'm just happy to just leave, and I don't really need to come back because I feel like it's very stressing Alberto if I stay, or there's a fork. It doesn't feel like it's going to work for him, or um so I know he's very crucial for the team and the project. He's done so much. He's so involved. I, on the contrary, have not done much, and so happy to just be grateful for this experience. Sorry that it went this way at the end, but it doesn't really make sense that I keep staying on the team and doing the work when clearly is creating a lot of contentions and blockages to the flow of the work. So yeah, so that's why. So yeah, I'm just happy to to leave.
Okay, well, I think that brings us back to the end of the previous contentious session. You can do whatever you want to do. You are certainly empowered to do what you want. But it sounds like you're leaving because you just don't want to deal with it all, as opposed to leaving for us. So again, I just prefer you to make decisions and to do actions for your own needs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As opposed to somehow speaking for other people, like somehow we're asking you to leave or something. That's just, I don't like that at all. If you want to just leave yourself, you just go, it's fine. You just quit. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
But the idea that you're leaving to benefit the team, I think is a falsehood, because I think that
I apologize for that.
the team are much, much deeper than the idea that somehow having Alberto instead of you, or even just dealing with Alberto at all, somehow is the benefit for the team, is obviously opinionated, because I don't think that is necessarily true.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, maybe, indeed I speak for myself. I feel also like there's a lot of stress that I've been experiencing dealing with the situation and with Alberto's request, and it's challenging. It's something that it's not easy to deal with. And so also for my own peace of mind, and hopefully, personal health. I feel like it's better if I quit.
But you are quitting, right? Or
Yes, I am quitting.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like, I didn't even yesterday when we talked about what to do next, my thought was, okay, the next step will be to understand how to work on the same, team with Alberto. And if that is not possible, I know you talked about forking, but also that option seems like, very complicated and unnecessary. So then, I also knew that if, today things will escalate, I would not stay. So it has escalated and I prefer not to stay.
Can I just clarify that we yesterday we did have a 3.5 hour session with Luisa to talk about how to stay on the core team, and Jay said, "Well, there's no way you cannot work with Alberto. So staying on the core team means that we find harmony today." Luisa was already not going to work on Alpha or be subcontract through ACU or join SVG. And then if we can't be worked out, we did look at the option for forking, which means that it's the final result of the contentious, and that means because it can't be resolved. And then we talked about some creative options. So right now we could talk about, I'm not, well, forking means that, does everyone understand what forking means? It just means, to me, two separate groups in the core team, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's two separate core teams, right? It's like two separate branches of the network. Right? Where you have a different strategy, different values, foundational principles.
Right.
What's the sense of the core team if it's not a core team?
What was that, Joyce?
What's the sense of a core team if you are not a core team?
Oh, the point of a core team. Yeah, if it's not one unit.
What's the point? Yeah, what's the point?
So so yeah. But yeah, having different branches is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with having different branches. So yeah. And also there's no thing that we won't fork anyways. I mean, there's nothing like that somehow like changes, like you leaving doesn't like magically change everything back to the way it was. We have to work from where we are now, as always. So we still might work, we still might do all this stuff. Also, under our policies, you quitting now is perfectly fine. You could always get back involved when we get our shit together. So in terms of moving forward, talking about getting our shit together, The main thing that's still outstanding is like I want to do some legal communications about the difference between harassment and threats and actual, death threats. My review so far is it's just the same thing. There's no like legal difference between being harassed, being threatened, or getting a death um, threat. That they're all basically words. They're all harassment. They're all bad, right? Um, so unless that there's something that I can find that shows that a specific death threat is somehow separate, then I think that this needs to be addressed as the harassment and threats. We need to have a model and a policy for that immediately. We need to be able to address the racist communications and the racist discrimination immediately. And we need to address these moderator roles immediately. Like I want these policies immediately, and this is just getting ridiculous. If we have these policies already, like we would just be removing Alberto, at least temporarily, from the Discord because it's unacceptable, the things that are being said. Both at a moral and ethical level as well as at a legal level. Yeah. And obviously we've never dealt like anything like this before, ever. So first time. So those are the main things for me that are just need to be addressed immediately. So let's write those down since no one wrote it. So we have dealing with harassment policy process, harassment process. We have to deal with a discrimination process, and we need to deal with async professional communications code. Yes. I think that's it. Those are the three, right?
Mm-hmm.
Julio. So I don't know if anyone wants to like vote on at least one of these for now. Otherwise, let's just wrap up and check out. I mean, there's nothing else to be done here. If there's, if Luisa would like to quit, I don't know if there's anything else that Lisa wants to say. You're certainly welcome to say whatever you want. But if you wanted to quit, that's definitely, you're empowered to do that. And then that kind of is, I don't know what else we can really say regarding this. We can try to figure things out with the rest of the team tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like maybe removing myself from, the team, perhaps, it's like removing the trigger, because perhaps right now, he has the wound is right open, and me being there is like, pouring salt on it. So perhaps removing me.
I mean, I just have to like vehemently disagree with the idea that somehow that you are a problem. If you want to, if you can quit, you can quit. But just I will never accept any discussion that somehow you being used as a pawn or a tool, or that you are anyway the problem, is acceptable, because that is just not how we do things. Everybody has intrinsic value. Everybody is completely supported and has a right to vote and be a member and be involved and being heard and being respected at the highest level, period. So you can do whatever you want to, but I will not accept as a founder anybody justifying the idea that somehow you leaving is going to improve the situation because you're the problem. Like, that's just unjustifiable.
Jay, I disagree with you in this moment. I mean, I just caught up on the Discord threads. Like, if I was in a situation like that, and then I would be tempted to leave as well too, because there is someone that is within the company that's doing that. It's very toxic. So yesterday, that we were exploring options for harmony with Luisa and Alberto, and I wasn't and that she wasn't going to quit. one modification, and it's up to you, Louisa, is like maybe just on leave, full leave until you get back from your trip or something like that. Just a couple weeks just to see, as opposed to full on quitting. But you can't say it's not related to Alberto. You know,
I think it's completely related to Alberto. Luisa can leave for whatever reason that she wants, but what I heard her say was that somehow it's going to improve everything because you're going to be removing the problem, removing the salt. That she was calling herself the salt on the wound, and by removing herself, somehow that's going to fix the wound. I 100% disagree with that. Luisa is not the problem. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I want to leave. Luisa can leave, but am completely against the idea that any of us would ever agree that Luisa leaving is fixing the problem in any regards. That is against every moral, ethical, and foundational value and principle that I believe in relationships with them. Okay?
Yeah.
As long as we're on the same page with that, it's perfectly fine. You can quit for whatever reason you want to, including just Alberto in and of himself. Like, that's perfectly fine for you to quit. Right? But again, I will not be okay with you or anyone thinking that you are quitting, that it's either going to solve any problems or that is going to remove the salt in the wound, that somehow that you were the problem. If anyone says that after you leave, I would be vehemently against that as well. That you choosing to leave as a valid member with all of your rights is perfectly fine. You can do that. But that doesn't change your rights. It doesn't change the fact that you're equal to everybody else here. But anyway, just let us know if you change your mind. But I mean, I feel like it's been made very clear that Luisa said that she's quitting. I mean, there's no reason to sugar, and pretend like it's not happening, because obviously it is happening. And then if you change your mind in the future, you just let us know.
Right.
But yeah. And then obviously we'll, Mel will keep you informed. We can keep you informed on anything that evolves with our policies and our situation, because obviously this is, we're going to take this very seriously. We have to take it seriously.
Yeah, I feel right that I quit, and then leave the doors open for the future. But as of now, I feel quitting is the best option for me. The best thing to do the best option. There you go. So I can remove myself from the Discord as well. Yeah.
Just to clarify, yes, your decision is to fully quit with the option of course, come back later, or as opposed to take a partial leave, and then or something like that, or see how the week goes or something. Right?
Yeah.
Full leave. Okay. I mean, full quitting. Okay.
Full quitting. Yeah.
Cool. So I think. Oh, do you have anything else you want to add, Luisa?
No, but that I've learned a lot from you, Jay, and if I through the contention session I said anything that hurt your feelings, I'm really sorry about that. And also to the team for creating some blockages and high blood pressure with the situation, and but it was a pleasure for the time being before this whole thing blew up, but it was a pleasure before. Thank you.
Yes, for sure. Joyce, Aline. Joyce or Aline, do you have anything you wanted to mention? So, before we move on to the view up or wrap up or check up.
We don't want you to go, but what can we do? It's your decision, but you can always come back later.
Thank you.
All right. Well, unless there's anyone else to say, I think we are basically moving to wrap up or view up. I personally am kind of on the page of leaning towards the wrap up and the checkout as opposed to view up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in terms of moving forward, I feel like the most important things are definitely addressing the harassment process, the discrimination process, and the professional communications code. So I want to make it very clear that under our anti-bullying policies, that it is fully the power of the individual who feels like they're getting bullied to be initiating the process. Whereas for our anti-discrimination process and our harassment process, there's no requirement for the individual to initiate it. Right? Does that make sense? So, of course, there's a difference between a harassment complaint and a harassment observation, right? There are different processes, and one's obviously much more serious than the other, but either way, they can be addressed. Like, you don't need someone to actively understand that they are being bullied in order to see that there's a clear harassment that's going on that's acceptable and against our policy. So we definitely need to deal with that. We need to have our professional communications for async and real time. And I can't think of anything else more important for the organization at this time, because I've been talking about at least the real-time policy for a while, that how important it is that we get those set up, and people, I don't think, have been taking me very seriously about it. And we would be much better off if we had those set up. And then as far as the discrimination process, I believe we do have something on that. I wasn't able to find it earlier, but I think we can basically move forward with that pretty quickly. And then I would like to get updated harassment process too. So the only other thing I can think of here is just simply that that we also do have some things that need to be addressed, and then we have contentious session tomorrow. Continue this. And that's the Andromeda hour too. What are the pay stop deadlines? We have accounting.
We have the payroll rounds, and we have
Payroll round? What do you mean payroll round? What's that?
payroll round proposal.
Okay. So do we have any deadlines listed anywhere, or you just link them?
Yes, just
But what does the payroll rounds proposal do? Isn't that super easy?
no, it's an ECJ. I mean, you're asking for the deadline, so I just said that's the deadline for these 2 days at least. And then on Sunday are the the bills verification and management status updating, and what else?
Cool.
So
All right.
that is
Let me find on those. So really, it's just the accounting report, which we do today, and the payroll voting.
yes.
So for me, the number one top priorities are all of these policies and dealing with the discrimination issue, right? Current discrimination issues. The first time I've seen it today, which is obviously, or let's call it an incident. And then we need to get a harassment policy and address all of the current harassment. So I think we have both of those that need to be addressed, and then we have the async real-time professional. So let's just do it. Get it all set up. So if anyone wants to schedule for moving forward on all of these things today, like, this is definitely my number one top priority above 3 things. So anything else? Otherwise, we're ready for pickup.
Yes. It will be available, Jay, within how many hours?
Top of the hour.
Top of the
Yeah.
hour.
dealing with all this stuff.
Okay.
For me, the only reason that I would want to continue the session is basically to vote on the, professional communications code. If you break that 3 times on Discord, that you can be removed. Because I mean, I'm just tired of this. I don't like it. It's unacceptable. Like it needs to stop. And if people don't want to vote on these proposals, that's fine. But I'm requesting it because I'm over it. Right? But that's the only reason I would want to stay is basically to have an actual policy on addressing the current situation going on Discord right now with Alberto saying discriminatory, inflammatory, racist, and threatening harassment is ongoing on Discord right now. It's unacceptable. It needs to stop. If he doesn't stop, he needs to be removed. That's how I feel about it. If no one else cares about it, let's just check out. So you guys want to check out, or do you want to do one last vote? Because we can vote on that later if you want to, but and it needs to be reviewed at main session anyways.
Let's do it tomorrow, Jay.
Okay, let's check out.
What?
I can start if no one else wants to start. Or Luisa, if you want to start, you have your checkout here already, but
Yes. So I did write that it was a 8 for me. I felt really empowered. Thank you guys for all your comments and allowing me to make the decision for myself and actually make a decision for other people. So I really appreciate that.
cool. I'll give this session a 7. I am certainly concerned overall. I would say that my biggest concern in relationship to all the information, the whole thing happening both before and during the session, but specifically in relationship to some of the racist comment that I now seeing it agree with, that I think that there's like direct legal issues and legal liability in relationship with the company on all of this as an organization, as a network, and that it needs to be addressed at the highest level of professionality, and it needs to be the top #1 priority. Because without addressing this, I mean, I don't whatever Luisa wants to do, it's her decision, but easily it could be someone besides Luisa that could just, if this was not addressed in a professional, organized way, we just let it linger, could easily like sue us and just completely bankrupt us and take us down. So it's an actual like legal matter at the highest level, in my perception, and it's unacceptable. Right? This is not just a communications issue. This is a legal issue at the highest level of existence for the organization. So, but if we do take it seriously and we just set up these policies that we've never had to deal with before, and we, address the comments and the harassment as a professional organization and deal with it in a professional way that is organized and clear, then we are going to be fine. But everybody needs to be accountable for their actions, and that means everybody is involved. Check. What's going next? Mel? Joyce? Okay, looks like Aline's gone. No, Aline's still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay, do you want to check out?
Yeah. um, I understand and respect your decision. I will give the session an 8, and I understand and respect your decision, Luisa. If you don't want to apologize and you want to leave the team, uh, bec- uh, but for me, saying sorry to the person who hurt you is not a reduction in your personality. It's just mean that you understand. It just mean that you have a wide understanding to compared to the person who hurt you. So that is why I keep on saying that you can say sorry, but it's okay now. We can move now. Um, and I feel so sorry for uh for you to leave the team. It's because you're already a core team member, and but it's your decision. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Check.
Thank you, Aline. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, Mel, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I give this session a 5. That really didn't go the way I was hoping. And I mean, I we just Louisa came on when in the middle of my contention with Alberto, and we used the conflict evolution process, and we both transformed, right? And was able to work it out. So I had hopes that we would be able to work it out today, because I mean, I thought we made a lot of progress and good progress and clarity yesterday's 3.5 hour call. So it's unfortunate to me. I would have loved to have Louisa stay on the team, and I respect her decision to take space at the moment. But I was definitely not expecting that would be the outcome today. Check.
Did we get everybody? Eileen checked out? No. Joyce.
Yeah. Maybe the session be a 3. So toxic. So toxic because the background I can see all the messages of Alberto coming up on my screen and all. And yeah, it's so sad we were not able to resolve the issue with Alberto and Luisa, but I think everything has a reason. We don't know, but we can see maybe in the coming days what the reasons would be. So yeah, no, oh yeah, I'm a 3. So let's see. We'll pray for the better. We cannot do anything right now. We just do our best, and we'll see that we do the rest.
Cool. Also, I want to make a assignment. So, bottom line is that, like, you know, in order to move forward and take this all very, very seriously, at the highest like legal levels, right? I want someone to step up and take on the. So we have our contentious situation, and so the contentious situation is all organized, and we have that information, and we can continue to document there. But when we get into the idea of like an anti-discrimination incident, and we get into the idea of a harassment incident, we have to take it to another level, and it needs to be documented specifically just for that incident as opposed to the entire contentious situation. So I'd like someone to take on the task of setting or the responsibility, right, of setting up a document for the discrimination incident documentations. So if someone could just and for me, I really think it's very important to have screenshots of everything, not just the copy and pasting the actual language. So can someone, and I think this needs to be done immediately, can somebody take these on? So one person or the same person could do to start documenting the discrimination incident, and then the other person would start documenting the, oh my God, the harassment incidents.
So one for discrimination, one for harassment.
Yes, harassment incident. So we don't actually have a harassment incident policy, but I want to create one. And so, and again, if you can take screenshots and specifically focus on the threats. Because the threats are the most direct. But any harassment, any harassing language is important to document. Um, but definitely focus on the threats because that is just way over the top. And then as far as the discriminatory incident, there's really just that one single instant. And if you need the link to that, we can get that for you, but it was copied in here. It has the date and all the information. Okay, and screenshot, please. Can you do that, Joyce? You're gonna do that?
Yes.
We can.
Okay, Joyce and
Can you
Eileen?
help me, Eileen? Okay.
Yes, yes, I will do that.
What? Jay, I did not get the last one. Deflammatory, you mean? Deflammatory.
Deflammatory.
Did you say that? The last one?
The discrimination, right? So the discrimination was
Discrimination.
documented
The last,
during your session.
yeah, no, the last thing that you said right now. Deflammatory that you said it's linked in the note.
Yeah, it's linked here in
Yes.
the notes. Or it's not linked in the notes. If someone could link it, it'd be helpful. But it's basically, this discussion about this one right here about what she does. That I would hope she stays in the team. And then Alberto responded, I don't know. I did a lot of deals with Chinese culture.
That one.
Thomas in their gut. So this is, in my perspective, a direct discriminatory language, and so it needs to be documented as a discriminatory incident, and separately from the contentious situation. And it was at August 6th at 2:36 a.m. for whoever it was done. So can you do that, Joyce?
Yes.
And please
Yes,
with screenshot.
yeah, with screenshots.
All right, cool. So
Before I leave,
Yeah.
may I ask the team or whoever has access to the documents to delete my personal information, if there's any personal information, like where I live and things like that?
I don't think
My
we have
name.
any personal
If
information
there's no, okay.
unless you put it in like a contact list somewhere. Did you fill out a contact list?
No.
No.
Yeah.
So, and you never did a W8 or W9, right?
No, I did not.
So
Okay, good.
I don't think we have any personal information of yours. What about you, Mel? Like, Good Cause Group is technically legally under us. Did you ever issue a 1099 or anything to Lisa, or any other information within the Good Cause Group documentation that you did? Huh?
I think a long time ago,
A
like
long
years
time
ago.
ago. Yeah.
Years ago, you did a W8 or W9.
Yeah, a foreign
Yeah.
worker statement.
Okay. So that would be the only place that it would exist.
Okay.
So we can double check that on your behalf, and we can add that to the harassment documentation for Joyce and Eileen. Okay,
Thank you.
as a private conversation. All right, so I think that is it. Anything else?
Nope. Thank you.
Thank you, Luisa. Hope to see you again.
Thank you, Luisa.
Yes.
We'll be
Same.
comes up.
To see you.
Other than that, hopefully everything will just simmer down.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
No.
Hi, Eileen. Okay, let's document.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Ano ba yan? Para akong naiiyak. Kainis naman to eh.
Nakakainis kasi.
Yeah. Kainis pa.
Simple lang.
Ano ba yan?
Hindi kasi naman si Alberto rin napaka-bully, napaka-ano din kasi.
Ano lang yan, be?
Ano siya, wait.
Aggressive siya. It's because sa
Hindi,
paniniwala niya. Sa mga paniniwala niya ngayon.
Ano siya, ang tawag yun? Spoiled brat. Spoiled brat yun eh.
Oh,
Mag-isa daw
yun.
siyang lalaki eh. Sabi niya.
Sabi ko pagustuhan, pasundan na lang good siya good, gano'n na lang good.
Oo, for the meantime, di ba?
Oo, kasi 'di ba may kasabihan na hindi ko na lang sinabi. 'Di ba may kasabihan na yung keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer.
Kaya mo na. Dami nating quotes.
Kaya nga. Ano ba yan?
Yung mga Pilipino, no? Maraming quotes.
Ano ba yan? Masyado niyan taas-taas ng pride, takot naman. Ano ba yan?
Oo mo.
Takot naman. Ano ba yan? Kainis. Sige, sige be.
Ano na?
Mag-create,
gawin na natin.
Create tayo ng docs. Docs tayo, di tayo sa sheet.
Di sheet yun.
Yung screen, madali lang bang Madali lang bang ilagay yung screenshot? Oo.
Madali
Hindi
lang.
ba siya mahirap sa sheet?
No.
Ay, hindi. Okay. Sige.
Sandali lang.
Sige, create tayo ng sheet. Okay, sige. Ba yan? Kainis naman, oy.
Wait, anong
parang
pangalan ng
sheet? Ano siya? Diba?
Ang sama ng ugali ni Alberto. Ang sama ng ugali niya.
Talaga.
Sabi niya, ay, yung utang nyo.
Ano? Ang sabi niya?
Sabi niya, Joyce and di ba? Di ba, nagulat ako doon
Hindi ko nabasa.
Nagulat ako. Sabi niya, Joyce and din yung Joyce and ate. Naku, nagagalit si ate niya pag nabasa niya yan. Oo.
Parang siyang bata talaga, Bi. Parang bata siya. Uy, naku.
Ay, naku. Top of the hour tayo, ha? Okay?
Okay. Oo. Parang siyang bata na to. Pasundan na lang talaga.
Sundan mo, ikaw rin, Aileen, sabihin mo SJ. I will be at the top of the hour.
Ano ba ito? Hindi ko makita message. Nasa core team activity.
Mamaya na lang natin kaya gawin ito pag tapos natin kay Jay. Pahinga muna tayo, no?
Sige. Activity. Hindi pa ako naka-message. Activity.
Pahinga muna tayo.
Jay, magkain din ako, be. Breakfast pa ako.
Bisa mo, huwag kumalit.
Opo.
Kahit kumain ka sa station, ako kumakain sa station. Siguro narinig ako.
Minsan nga meron.
Si Jay yun, yung malakas. Si Jay yun.
Si Jay yun.
Sige na.
Sige, be. Wala ngayon pala. Walang top of the hour. Activity team, ito.
Try mo gumawa ng natin.
Notes?
Ano yung notes ba? Hindi ka pa nagsabi, ha?
Ano ba to? The only schedule I will have is tomorrow, Contentious, where I want to work. Ay, bahala ka dyan sa buhay mo.
Sa sinabi mo na.
Oo. Joyce, let me know if you want to see us jumping on the top of the hour, focus on preventing a face stop to prevent Contentious session tomorrow. Then, yes, Jay. Ano to gawin dito, Bay? Ano to?
Sabihin mo, I will be there to James. Sige, Bea, mag-ano ka na. Tapos magawa ka ng notes. Ay, wag na lang. Ako na nga lang. Kumain ka na. Sige, ako na lang.
Sige.
Bye-bye.
Sige, bye-bye.
Gahan mo, Magbaon ka ng plato. Basta nandiyan ka na ng
7:41 time. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ngayon na in 15 minutes . Okay.
Mm-mm.
Bye.
Bye-bye.